Hey folks, we are back here at Bethlehem. We've had a long day. I was down in the Tidewater area this morning, just finished up 2 Zoom consultations, and we're back here. When I got here, they were having choir rehearsal and they were having a couple of issues. I think they had the speakers too high and it was causing feedback, so I moved them down here on the floor and just got to help dial that in. But what we're going to do is I got about an hour, and then I got to go pick up the U-Haul and bring the TVs over here. But I started marking this, and these are going to be relatively low compared to how the other ones were, just because of the slanted ceiling. See, they were in the corner and the ceiling was a lot higher than where these were going to go. So I kind of marked it to where it's going to be about right here. And I'm just going to sample this right now. Worst case, we'll putty this up if we need to, mud it up if we need to. But I think this is going to give enough space for this to be mounted and have enough space to actually get the speaker on there. So let me get my drill. Let's make some holes, because that is a stud right there, and then see if we can get that. Then drill a hole up in there, find that cable, do the same thing over here. I probably won't be able to do both before I have to go, but I want to at least get that one speaker up, and then we can focus on everything else and try not to make that much of a mess, because they've already cleaned up a lot of stuff. But want to do that, and then we work towards this side and all the other fun stuff. So let's get to work. Oh, so that was fun. I mean, granted, it's not as high, but we got it there, and she's stable with the same bolts that they had in the back directly into a stud. So what we're gonna do is I'll probably pull this cable, because it'll probably be easier to walk it back than to try and pull it all the way back up this way. Is I'm gonna open up a hole here in the ceiling, same size for the grommets that I have. Do a stud finder on here to make sure I don't hit a ceiling joist, and then make the hole, and then that's where this cable is going to run through. And see if I can get up there and do that. This one should be easy because I can walk up on this side and get to that, so that should hopefully be straightforward. And then I'll probably go pick up the U-Haul and then pick the TVs up, and then head back on over here and do the other side. Actually, I'll probably put the mount up on the other side after I drill this hole, and just make sure I'm the same distance, the same height, and all that other stuff, because I could probably have gone up a little bit more, but I mean, that's good, because that's enough that if somebody need to come back behind me, it's enough space to lift that speaker right up off the mount. So I would have gone with different brackets, but that was not my call, and these are the ones that they had, so obviously they've been working. So let's go ahead and make this hole, and then get on the other side, put the mounts, then head over and pick up the stuff for these TVs. Yay! We got it hooked up. Now I got the cable pushed through the firewall, so I need to just climb up on this side and pull it all the rest of the way back. And I don't want to get too comfortable, because I still got to pull and make a hole for the shielded Ethernet cables, so that we run down that corner and get all that stuff here. I'll probably do that at the same time I do this side, because getting there should be easy, and actually running through the wall should be easy too, because right at the top of that step, so right where that incline starts, that's the top where I'm at the upstairs in the attic. So I see the insulation just like it is on that side, so we just got to open that up, find where the stud is, put a hole behind there, and then we go from there. And I might actually do that now, because that's going to be easy, and I already got this over here to move the ladder on this side. Got that one up, yay. Just got to make the hole on that side to run the cable, walk that back. But I'm probably not gonna walk that. It all depends on which one is gonna be easier. I might actually just take all the cables and walk them from here back, because I still got to drop the cables down for the Ethercons in that corner, run them here, and then all four of those cables need to run back. And when I'm here, I need to untangle and pull up all the slack for the fiber optic HDMI and get that up in the ceiling. So all of this is gone. These two cables will go. The third one is the one that's going to go in the ceiling. So, all right. So my alarm has gone off twice. Let's head over here, pick up this U-Haul, go to Best Buy, bring the TVs in. Then I don't think I'm gonna try and hang these. Main thing is I want to get all the cables ran. Like I said, this one is probably going to be easier because I already got that done. I need to pull that cable up out of the ceiling and then probably spackle up that right there to cover up the 3 holes that were there. Now the other thing that did happen, the bolt for the bottom snapped off. So I screwed in here and it broke off. The other ones are anchored in here. I mean, this ain't going nowhere, but if this was to be taken down, it's not like the bolt is blocking it. It's screwed into the stud, but then the head broke off. So both of those would come off and then the whole thing would slide off. But anyway, let's head over here, get this U-Haul, and then head on back. So you see where I'm leaving from. And we're leaving empty-handed because they said stuff will be ready. Been here for about maybe 35 minutes and nothing. So I am not going to waste my time sitting out here because I could be finishing up the other stuff at the church. So we're going to go ahead and return this. I'm going to return this, and then we just got to come back and do this because this was a waste of my time. Like I said, if it wasn't for this thing being close, I would pick somewhere else. I might actually just change it and let them deliver this thing and then they bring it instead of me spending my time. Then I could invest that time doing something else. So let's get back here and then we get back in the ceiling and finish up all the other stuff there at the church. All right, so at this point, I'm just going to focus on making a hole for that right speaker, run the Spicon cables in the ceiling, and not the Spicon, the Ethercon cables in the ceiling, run them down in the back of the choir stand and hook everything up, and then clean up the media booth in the area, and then coming back and doing the hole for the front TV, the holes for dropping the cables in the walls for the front. I'll have to come back to do that, and I have it almost in my mind made up that I'm like have Best Buy just deliver the TVs, but the fact that they give such a wide range of time, I'd rather not do that either. So I don't want to really rent another U-Haul, but probably gonna have to do that. And but at this point, even if I waited that amount of time, it's almost 6 o'clock. So I would have just been wasting my time over here that I could be using for something else to do. So thankfully I do got the speaker in there, got one ran. All I got to do is put the hole in the ceiling for the other one. And then again, I don't even have to worry about really running the Spicon cables down the side where that speaker is. I only got to put the speaker there. The other ones can run down the center. And then go over to the hole that I need to make for near the drums. So I'm gonna focus on that and then spend the rest of the time cleaning up. Put that conduit in the corner for the kitchen, and then kind of wrap up for the day. And I got to do Mount Tabor next week. Well, actually, I got to go down to North Carolina tomorrow, but Mount Tabor is next week, and then hopefully that should only take me 2 days because it's mainly just hanging a camera in the front. Everything is inside the sanctuary except for I'm hooking up Starlink for them. So I'm gonna put that as close to a wall as possible so that I just got to drill a hole to the outside, run the cable on the inside, put the rack up, reposition everything. So mainly it's going to be running cables, but thankfully everything is inside the sanctuary. And I don't have to go anywhere else, I don't believe. No, I have to put an access point in the fellowship hall. But again, I already have the path for that. So I'm going to go over here and get my car washed because Sierra has been dirty because of all this snow and salt and stuff like that. And it's on the way. So I'm going to just turn over here, get the car cleaned up, then head back over here to Bethlehem and run those 3 cables and then clean up, and then that's it. All right, so like I said, we are back. We have less time than I wanted. Cut the hole up here, run the spike-on cable in the ceiling, run it back. On the way back, pull up this cable and then loop that off and Velcro zip tie that up there to get that all out of the way. While we're doing that, pull the Ethercons up in the ceiling. I'm probably going to do this backwards. I'm going to probably climb up and get the hole here and then go from there. Then focus on cleaning up the mess that I have because there's no point in me doing anything else. I may try to... I'm not going to worry about that because if I start thinking about doing all this other stuff, I'm going to run out of time to do what I need to do so everything is cleaned up here for service. So let me put the caps on the holes and the grommets that I got here and then move the ladder over here, make sure I don't hit a stud when I make the hole for the spike-on cable, then go up, pull the cable, climb over here. That's probably obviously not on the other side of the firewall, so get up here, pull it over to the firewall, get it over there, and then run some cables. All right, got over here. This one was way more interesting to get over to, but thankfully we got it. Cable is hooked up. Now we just got to pull the cables all the way back. I'm trying to think, since I'm doing this, probably should put the Ethercon cables up there now so I don't have to make multiple trips. So let's get this up here, leave this in the ceiling, and then walk all the way. No, I'm not going to walk all the way back. I got to take the cables up on this side so that I'll meet them, and then I don't have to walk all the way through, and then I can get back and then pull the other stuff. And then while I'm up here, pull the HDMI up for the camera, get all the slack up there, then pull the Ethercons down, get them through the hole that I made, get them on the other side, push the cables through, then pull the spike-ons back, come back down, and then walk up on the other side. That's what I think I'm going to do. So I got my cables ran. That speaker is hooked up. That one isn't because the cable is about 10 feet short. The Ethercon cables I got connected to there, but they end right at the steps. It's not long enough to even come down in that corner where the hole already is, or let alone reach over there. So I'm gonna, and I doubt I'll be able to get anything, but you never know. I need to get the cable that was already in the ceiling for that speaker that's actually long enough. So if I can get a Spicon extender or coupler, that would work. And then I need to get couplers for the Ethercons, and then that would be fine. So trying to figure out what to do. Worst case scenario is I could run the speakers on the floor, but I really don't want to do that. Let me get here on Amazon and let me see what I can find out before I make a final decision and give Pastor Coleman a call. Alrighty, so we got somewhat of a break. Supposed to go down to North Carolina, finish up Oxford, and get my ladder, but they don't have heat. So they just called me and said that they still don't have church, but I have to get my ladder. So I'm gonna go down there, see if I can knock out the little stuff like I just got to hook up instrument direct boxes, the ones that I ordered that I put here at first, and then wrap the cables, which should be easy because I can go in the ceiling and just push the wrap down. The other wrap is in the balcony. And then technically, I mean, that's really it. I was going down there to really help them, but since they don't have church, we'll have to do that. But I can go down, knock that out. So the only thing I really got to do is come back and do a training with them during a Sunday with them. We got to knock that one out because that was a project left from last year. Get that done. It's small stuff. I don't have to hang nothing. All of that is done. It's just wrapping the cables in the ceiling. The cables that are coming down the corner in the corner of the media booth. And then hook up the instrument box that are all on the floor. So we'll do that. Told them I'll be down there at 9:30 and then I can turn right back around. What I think I'm gonna do is I can get Spicon couplers by 4 a.m. tomorrow. If they come in early, I may come over here because it's a 2-hour drive for me to get down to North Carolina. So if I leave by 7, I'll be down there in time. If this thing gets here early enough, now it's saying it's not going to be here. It says it'll be here tomorrow. So worst case scenario is I can get them, but they're going to have to, it's going to be at church. They're not going to have it. So everything will be here. So I'll come back tomorrow afternoon and hook up everything. That really stinks. I'm gonna have to pull new cables for the Ethercon. Just have to go back with shielded cables. That really stinks. Really stinks. So there's no rush for me to get this in the morning then. They can still go back the same way how the instruments were plugged into the amps. All of that will still work. The mic, I'll hook the mic back up to the amp, so that will go through. The main thing is I just need to let them know that only one speaker is going to be working and the floor ones are not going to be working at all. I've really... if this thing can get to me by... No, because... Yeah, if he can... I'm going to call Mr. Downey back, and if this thing can get to me by 8 a.m., and I'll just tell Mr. Downey I'll get down there at noon, that would be enough time for me to go down there, get everything, get this in place, hopefully before they have service. Kind of stuck on what I can do with this. Man, that stinks. Anyway, short, abrupt end to today. Not exactly where I wanted to. TVs. Now, this entire time I've been here, it is almost 7 o'clock. I still have not gotten anything from Best Buy. So I would have been sitting there wasting my entire time. just doing nothing, without them calling in any way, shape, or form. Which they said the TVs would be available for pickup by noon, and I gave it till 4, and they're talking about it's not there. Anyway, let me give Pastor Coleman a call, kind of let him know what's going on. I'm gonna order this stuff, and I'll just order it right now. And all right, so it'll be here tomorrow. So we just have to deal with it and see what we do. All right, folks. It is 9:30 p.m. I'm obviously at home. I wasn't gonna put this in the video, but my inner pettiness and honestly just respectfulness and disrespect and allowing stuff to not slide made me go back to Best Buy. I went there and told him, I was like, I need to talk to a manager. And I'm like, dude, I've been sitting here. I was told the TVs were going to be here available at 3, noon or 3, something like that. I came an hour later, and I was told that we need to pull them and just sit here in the store and, we'll give you a text or an email. And I said, okay, so another text. So I sat there, waited for about like 25 minutes walking around the store, then went in the car. And then that's when I did the video saying I'm not sitting here. So it was almost 45 minutes to an hour. Went and returned the van because I only got it for like an hour. Now they said they were going to call me. And I told you, I did all that work at the church. It was 7 o'clock. Never heard nothing. So when I left the church, I ended up going to Best Buy, talked to the manager, and he was like, I could see that he was, being professional, but you could see that he was probably bothered about something. So, he didn't put that on me, but I can just read it in him. And then, he left, and then he goes in the back, and then the girl who I talked to said, no, they pulled it. And I said, well, then how come? And I'll show up a screenshot of what it said. The entire time it kept saying, we're ready in your order, we're ready in your order. And then all of a sudden it said, it's delayed. We'll let you know in a few days when it'll be available. So that's what made me go back to the store. And I sat there for about like 15 minutes. And then the guy came, called back and said, what does he want? And I said, look, at this point, I just want to cancel the order. Because, that's unprofessional. Like I had rented a truck. I'm not getting the money back for that. None of this stuff. And I said, I just want to cancel it. And then he came back and was like saying, well, I got your TVs. I don't care that you got the TVs. I wanted this to be in place before Sunday, which is tomorrow, for the church. And so now the TVs aren't there. Some of the speakers are not there, cooked up because of the cables. Long story short, he ended up telling me that somebody pulled 2 of the TVs, but they couldn't find the third one. And that same person, after he pulled my TVs, something else happened where he was fired on the spot, and he never told anybody that he pulled my stuff. And it was just under a whole bunch of TVs, and no one can find it. So when I came there at 3 to get my TVs, no one knew he had pulled that at the beginning of the day, whoever that person that they fired. So they were trying to find 3 TVs as if it was never pulled, but they didn't have enough. So that gives you that, but it still doesn't show that they didn't tell me at all, any form of communication at all, what was going on. So the guy was very, very apologetic and was like, look, I can get them delivered for you for free, so you don't have to rent another truck. And I said, well, when is it going to be there? So supposedly they're supposed to deliver it on Thursday. Let's see if they call. But I just thought that was interesting. So a little tidbit of all this fun foolishness that you deal with. But I think I've kind of made a mental note. Unless I can get stuff at a very, very good deal, I think I've kind of graduated away from getting my stuff from Best Buy. But anyway, later, folks.